ladies and gentlemen, I'm John Gray, and we're just plain living here.
Speak for yourself, John.
Oh, you're living? You wouldn't be here.
Good morning. I'm Peggy Burton. It's nice to see everybody.
Yes, you are.
Sometimes I wonder what happened to me.
What happened to you?
Yeah,
what would have happened to us without you?
Oh, my goodness. Who knows?
What all of the wonderful things would we not have experienced in this town without the brilliance of my buddy Peggy Burton over here?
Thank you.
Thank you for
Same
what
for
you've
you.
done for our town.
Well, I appreciate
and
it.
the music and the different arts and culture you brought, and the credibility to this show. Peggy came on one day to be a stand-in, and when she got through, I told Fuller, I said, we got to keep her. Said she's doubled our viewing audience just by being.
Thank you, John. We got a great group of people on the show today.
A lot of people coming in.
We've got everything from theater to horseplay to the motorcycle ride for toys.
Toy convoy. Yeah, man, it's happening.
And I think did I see Judy Jenkins come in?
Judy Jenkins is back there from Trinity Care.
So we have, I don't think I've missed anybody so
No,
far.
not so far, but you never can tell who else might show up.
So stay tuned.
Yeah, stay tuned.
We have a beautiful young princess on the show, too.
Yes, we do. Yes, we do. Tullahoma plays Friday night in town, the last game of the regular season. They're undefeated, 9-0. They are the regional champions for the first time in John Olive's 28 years here. It's incredible what's going on. Please go to that ball game. We play Maplewood, and if we win, the way this thing could lay out, we could play every game all the way to the state championship in Tullahoma.
And why does it work that way?
Well, because we're the winningest, and we play if we win. But we've got to continue. Of course, in the playoffs, if you lose, you're done. But it's just laid out that way that there's a possibility we could play every game here.
Which what a coup that is for Tullahoma.
Oh yeah, how wonderful is that? And so fans in the stands, folks, we want to see you there.
And you were there Friday night, right?
Oh, yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. And they played Nolensville, did a great job. And it was another one of those business-type games. Nolensville's got a great football team.
Well, I always want to say something nice for the band, because the band, I think, gets to perform as long as they're home.
Now, I don't know during the playoffs what they allow these bands to do. The TSSAA takes over after Friday night, and so they regulate everything. Well, what happens, whether we can even have a show about it or not, whether it can be on the radio or not. I mean, they control the whole deal. TV, and if you don't pay them, you can't show anything. It's all about the money.
Everything seems to be all about the money.
But we've had to play. Sad. Yeah, we've had to play that game with them for a long time.
Well, anyway, I'm proud of Tullahoma.
I am too. Proud of Coach Olive. You know, he's been here. This is his 29th year, longest coach to ever coach, winningest coach we've ever had.
Yeah.
So in Tullahoma, not the longest coach to coach somewhere. I'm sure there's been other people.
I wanted to mention.
Great man.
The loss of Ronnie McGee.
Yep, Ronnie McGee, one of our very, very talented musicians. And people don't realize how far-reaching Ronnie's arm was in the music business.
He did a lot of music.
He played in the same room with the Commodores and all kinds of people, and played with big bands. And he was respected in the music industry, all over the South and further and up in the North as well.
Right.
Fran was asked and very well. She felt honored to be asked to be part of the funeral, and we go over to that Mount Zion from time to time and listen to the preaching over there, because if you want to get riled up, you go over there, folks, because let me tell you what, there's some great music. And Ronnie, being a musician, most of the funeral were players. The Hamilton brothers came in from Nashville. There was a group who came in from Huntsville. Wow. There was some of the coolest music you could ever imagine.
What a send-off.
And there was a saxophone player from Huntsville. It was just incredible. And at one point, he walked over and turned his back to the audience and played to the casket. and had his hand on the casket during the party, and it was just, it was
touching.
amazing. And but Ronnie will be missed. Good guy.
Well, he deserved it.
Very talented man.
Yes, he was.
Yeah,
his whole family's talented.
They're all, that whole bunch over there is
You got
talented.
something you want to read?
Well, we have new
Time?
aldermen on our city board, and I thought I would look back. Jimmy Blanks made a statement last night about some of the things that went on 18 years ago or so when he first was an alderman. And that's when I wrote this piece right here. And I think it's interesting. And so this is, I used to write commercials, and still do from time to time, for non-existent businesses, just because it's fun. Benny's Button Barn. You know, the Lucite lip locker. If you don't keep it lip, button that lip.
Yeah, so
You
you
know?
got a lip locker.
The lip locker for the crack that can't stay closed is a barbed wire button. You know, so this is Robert's Rules of Order, Supply Store, and Gift Boutique. New Robert's Sunshine Certificates for those meetings that you weren't invited to but feel you needed to attend. Here's another special they're having, the Minority Voter Recall the Question for you. Always good to have up your sleeve. Of course, you know, a minority voter can't recall the question.
Right.
You have to be a majority voter. So they're selling the minority voter. These are specials they have at Robert's Rules of Order. Always good to have up your sleeve. And there is usually only one gavel at a meeting. So for those who feel like they need one, you can go by Robert's and pick up your You're Out of Order coffee mug to bang on the table with. Buy a mug and get your You're Out of Order bumper sticker for free. Special this week is the Political Ethics board game at half price. It's not selling very well because no one can figure out how to play the game. So you can go by and pick that up. Christmas items. And they can't decide what the rules are. They can't figure out the game. So for all of your questions or needs regarding Robert Rules of Order, just stop by or fax Robert Rules of Order and Supply Store and Gift Boutique. Located, this is what's really cool. Robert's is located next to Pork Bellies, Tullahoma's new bistro, offering quantities of all those gluttonous quantities of all those things that you should not have, and for a discount price. So you can stop by Pork Bellies, the bistro, next to Robert's Rules of Order, Supply Store, and Gift Boutique. So for all your Christmas supplies. That was written 18 years ago. I hope it does not get to where it's needed now. So
did you write that, John?
that's my take on that.
Good for you.
Well, you know, we need to be. It's a time in our society where we have been quarantined. You know, people have spent a lot of time alone. That allows two things to happen. One, you sit there and fester about all the things you can't do and get cruel and mean and upset, or you sit there and think about how wonderful life is when you slow down and take just a moment to watch and see the beauty that's gone.
Have you really slowed down?
Yes.
What do you do?
I've walked around. Fran and I have gotten in the car and taken drives down roads that we haven't been down in years.
That's great.
And looked at cornflowers and looked at what's blooming in the fall. Cussed the ragweed. Ragweed just drives me crazy, and it's everywhere. You know, so when you have your time to think, be positive about what you think, and think about being kind to one another and being a little softer.
We need a lot of that.
And get all this vitriol, vindictive, power crazy thoughts out of your mind. And guess what? no matter who you vote for,
Vote
that
for
doesn't
somebody,
make
yeah.
you an enemy to the person who votes the other way.
That's right. Vote
and
for
doesn't
somebody.
give you a right to condemn them for their opinion just because they don't agree with yours. That's why we live in this country. That's why our veterans have sacrificed their lives for our freedom to be able to do that without being enemies of one another because of a difference in opinion.
I know it's sad to me when I have lots of friends on both, not lots of friends, but I have a few friends on both sides.
Sure.
And I am proud that they have their own conviction, and
Yeah.
I have mine.
That doesn't mean you need to hate each other
don't have to
because you
hate
don't
me
agree
because
with
of mine.
somebody.
That's
You
true.
know, so just go out and spread love. The greatest of them all is love. And spread a little love out there and everybody be happy. Don't you think?
You got to write a song about that.
Yeah, might do that. I'm still working on my outhouse song right
Oh,
now.
how's that going?
Going pretty good.
You got a line for us?
Got a line, but you're going to have to wait for it.
Oh,
What we're
okay.
going to do right now, we have a full show. We're going to take a quick commercial break and be back with the rest of today's show.
Let me tell you about the toughest guy on earth. He does the work of 2 jobs, but only gets paid for one. He's tough enough to feed the man that gave him a lifetime of nourishment. He has the crazy strength to lift the man that raised him up without even flinching. That's right. No employee of the month bonus check here. This guy, no, this warrior, will always be by his father's side, even if his dad will hardly remember. Good luck finding a gym to train for that. If this guy isn't the toughest guy on the planet, then I don't know who is. Caregiving is tougher than tough. Find the care guides you need at aarp.org/caregiving.
Is this the year you want to get fit? If so, check out just some of the things Tullahoma Parks and Rec has to offer. Kickboxing, aerobics, silver sneakers workouts, swim lessons, boot camp, water aerobics, basketball, Zumba, yoga, pickleball, lap swimming, treadmill, karate. Get fit, Tullahoma, and have some fun with Tullahoma Parks and Rec.
When your family suffers the loss of a loved one, the caring and compassionate staff at Tullahoma Funeral Home and Coffee County Funeral Chapel are standing by to assist you in every way possible. We are proud to support local industry and offer only Batesville caskets. Many funeral homes don't own or operate a crematory. We utilize the only crematory in Coffee County. Your loved one never leaves Coffee County. We can accommodate any need and any budget. Consider our complete pre-need service to remove this burden from your family during their time of grief. Lock in today's low costs and protect from inflation. Tullahoma Funeral Home and Coffee County Funeral Chapel. Our family caring for your family.
Get your news first, fast, and free with your news leader on 6 every Tuesday, Thursday, and Saturday nights at 6, 8, and 10 p.m. Local weather, sports, community calendar events, and a comprehensive look at the latest news stories and news makers as only a video news broadcast can do. Get it first, fast, and free with News Leader on Channel 6, your local information network.
All right, folks, we're back, and I'm here today with my buddy for years. She remembers 18 years ago when I read that Robert's Rules of Order commercial the last time. Katie Ishii, and when Katie's here, it's time for the Toy Convoy. And tell us what's going on. You have some exciting news.
God, I'm so excited about this Sunday, I can't hardly breathe.
You busting open, aren't you, girl?
Oh, it's going to be awesome. This year, we're celebrating 24 years, and we're doing a salute to the men and women in blue and our first responders. And so we expect a lot of policemen there, and we've got people coming from everywhere. North Carolina, Kentucky, Ohio, all the way from Lake Erie, 589 miles.
Lake Erie.
Lake Erie, up Great Lakes.
Yeah, yeah,
Like-
that's what they are.
589 miles one way.
What's he driving?
A 1929 Ford hot rod truck.
Listen, this is where now. Number one, this thing used to be in Tullahoma. Now, where are you having it now?
All right, we go to War Trace,
War Trace,
and
Good.
we got a beautiful route.
Look at here. Look at here. He's going to show some of this film.
Yeah, Joe Marler did that for us.
Yeah,
And his
and
drone
we'll just keep
video.
on talking. So how many people do you have involved so far?
We had 500 people there last year, easy. There were 250 plus vehicles. I'm expecting probably double that this year.
Wow.
It's going to be full of patriots this year. There's going to be American flags for as far as you can see in two directions.
Outstanding.
And it's just going to be awesome.
Now, and the city of War Trace has really embraced this too, haven't they?
Yes. They even did a postcard that the Parks Department is selling with a Highway 41 toy convoy on it, with an aerial view of the convoy. And from last year, we did a little, dedicated a little Christmas tree to the town, and it's right there on the square, and it'll grow over the years. It's a Norway spruce.
Oh, wonderful.
But they're doing a plaque, and it's to the convoy from the town of War Trace, a village that saved the toy convoy.
Isn't that
and I
great?
haven't seen it, but that's what they told me. It's going to be
Very
on the
good.
plaque.
Very good.
So I thought that was awesome. But we've got motorcycles, trucks, jeeps, vans, big rigs, little cars. It doesn't matter what you've got. If it'll go 45 miles an hour safely, you're welcome to join the convoy. And you got to fly the flag. It's and everybody brings a new toy to help the children. I've got one
that's
lady.
what it all started for. Is it started
To raise toys for
to
the
raise
children.
toys for kids?
I've got one couple coming that have collected over 1,200 toys this year. They had to buy a trailer and decorate the trailer
to bring the
toys.
And where are they coming from?
Hillsboro.
Hillsboro? Outstanding.
I've got another guy last night told me that he's got a bunch of toys. The people have really gone out. I've called 50 plus show entries from last year. Everybody's coming. And I had several people tell me, yeah, I have to bring a trailer this year because I've got so many toys. So we're going to have a lot of toys.
Outstanding.
And they go out through War Trace Fire Department, Manchester Police Department, and Steve Graves, Gene Taylor Christmas Foundation. So it's just really awesome. The warm greeting that we got from War Trace last year, I mean, a lot of people commented on that over this past week when I was calling to remind them of the Convoy Sunday. They said, I really like going to War Trace. It was such a warm greeting. But we've got, it's $10 a carload, $20 if you show. If you got 3 or more kids in it, you get in free. You get 10 tickets towards the door prize drawings when you come in. And we've got buku door prizes this year. I mean, people have just gone out of their way to help.
Right.
And I'm not having to ask them.
Isn't that wonderful?
And that just makes such a difference.
Maybe the COVID has softened a few people up, huh?
Well, it's something, and I know people are going to be glad to get out of the house. We've got plenty of room because we'll be outdoors, to spread around. And
it's on the square.
Yes,
in
it's going to be closed down.
That's very open and airy.
Right.
Up there.
And if you can't make it, you can come out to the roadside. We're going to go up 55 from the school. We line up at Raiders Academy up at exit 111 in Manchester. Lineup starts at 10. I get there at 9. There's already people sitting in the parking lot. That's the time changes that day.
Right,
so it's going to be going back. So you get that extra hour. And we go up, hit the main light, out 41 to Beech Grove, and hit 64 down into the square. And the leaves are peaking.
Oh,
this storm's going to wash all the leaves and the dirt off the leaves.
Yeah.
And it's going to be all pretty and clean.
Be beautiful.
Oh, it's going to be awesome.
And this is, now give us the day again.
All right,
That's Sunday.
This Sunday, November 1st. Lineup starts at 10. We roll at noon with a police escort. We ask that you fly the flag, bring a new unwrapped toy or 2 or 3, whatever you can afford.
Or 1,000.
1,000 if you want to, and they're all welcome. And
then you'll get to War Trace about when?
Probably between 12:30 and 1, depending on the speed that we have with the police escort, because I'm working with 2 counties now.
Right.
Because Bedford County picks us up somewhere along the route, I think out by the interstate.
Right.
And Coffee County did an excellent job last year. And I ask everybody in the convoy to keep a tight formation.
Right.
And I ask the people sitting on the side of the road to just sit back and enjoy it. Breathe. Don't try to cut through the line because that could be very dangerous.
Right. And then when like if somebody doesn't want to be on the highway, they can just come over to War Trace. They can go over there,
park over by the hotel,
whenever
and walk across
they want
the road.
to, and just spend the afternoon looking at the cars and the bikes. And will there be music?
Virgil T. and friends will be playing, of course.
Oh yeah.
Oh, and my national anthem this year is going to be sung by Shauna Harrison. She was the lead rock lady for a Heart tribute band called Little Queen, and she is the director of the Tennessee Motor Maids. So she's bringing Motor Maids with us, and she's got a set of pipes on her that is just beautiful.
So all kinds of great things going on. Katie, we thank you for, how many years is this now?
24.
24
years.
It's
a quarter of a century next year.
Next year, and of supplying toys for kids.
Yes.
Good job, sweetheart.
Thank you.
And good luck to you. And I think the weather's going to be pretty.
It is. It's going to be beautiful. God's got it.
We're going to go from there. We'll be right back after these messages.
Thank you, John.
Here at Manchester Funeral Home, we know the importance of living and working in our local community because it's those families who we serve during their time of need honorably. We believe in supporting local business and offer only 100% Batesville caskets, the best in the industry and a driver of our local economy. If you want straightforward and fair pricing while working with the people you know, choose Manchester Funeral Home, serving your community since 1932. And pre-planning and pre-funding can be the best gift you ever leave your loved ones. Call us to pre-arrange. Manchester Funeral Home. Our family, caring for your family since 1932.
If you want to be a parent, it doesn't matter how you play, what you wear, how you dance, or even what direction life takes you. You just need to be there. You don't have to be perfect to be a perfect parent. Thousands of teens in foster care don't need perfection. They just need you.
How long has it been since you raced a cheetah? Are your tornado creating skills getting rusty? Tired of being the only one in your neighborhood who hasn't built a dinosaur? Sounds like it's time to visit the Hands-On Science Center. The Hands-On Science Center is an indoor science playground. In this museum, please touch is the rule. Join us for weekly science demonstrations on space, lasers, lizards, rocks, and a whole lot more. No 2 visits are ever the same, so visit often to see our ever-changing exhibits and demonstrations. The Hands-On Science Center, 101 Mitchell Boulevard in Tullahoma.
Get your news first, fast, and free with your news leader on 6 every Tuesday, Thursday, and Saturday nights at 6, 8, and 10 p.m. Local weather, sports, community calendar events, and a comprehensive look at the latest news stories and news makers as only a video news broadcast can do. Get it first, fast, and free with News Leader on Channel 6, your local information network.
We're back on to horseplay again. I'm so happy to have with me from Ardmore, Alabama, Miss Amber Haley. And most of you can remember Loretta Christian, who is always working for horseplay. And you are Miss
Yellowhammer State Junior Team.
Yellowhammer Junior State Team.
Yellowhammer State Junior Team.
Okay. Well, anyway, congratulations.
Thank
You're beautiful, and we're so happy to have you here.
Thank you.
And have you been, I know you were at the dance for horseplay, and you did a lot of work there, and it really helped things move along. It was great.
Yeah.
Have you got something big coming up soon?
I have my nationals pageant on November 13th through the 14th or through the 15th, and we are going to Gatlinburg for that.
That'll be great.
Yes, ma'am.
And do you know how many contestants are in it?
There were originally 72, but recently we found out there's only 14 total because of COVID. We had to move the date to November instead of in June, and a lot of people couldn't make it because of the school.
And different things going on. Well, good luck.
Thank you.
We're gonna all be rooting for you.
Thank you.
Loretta, you need to talk about some things about horseplay. I think you did great with the mums.
Yes,
Are y'all going to do that again next year?
Yes, ma'am. We're going to do the mum sale again
There's a big
next year.
Photo shoot coming up, right?
We have a photo shoot coming up for November the 1st. That's on Sunday, my birthday. And on the 7th. And we're taking appointments right now. All the time slots are open from 2 to 4 o'clock. You get a 30-minute session. You get to choose 5 pictures of all that he makes, and he'll burn it on the CD, or he can send it by email so that you can download it yourself. You can take the CD to CVS, Walgreens, Walmart, anywhere that they can make the pictures off of your CD. And it's for a Christmas card, but it can also be used as a family portrait to give away as a Christmas gift. And the price is $50. And
it's going to, you said Sunday through?
No, Sunday and Saturday of the Sunday the 1st, Saturday the 7th.
That's
this coming Sunday and next week Saturday.
And in order for them to make a reservation for the photo shoot, do they call?
You can call me at 931-434-1291, or you can go to Horseplay's webpage or Facebook page and message Holly Holder, and she will take She will take your information, and you can tell her what time you want. Like I said, they start at 2 and go until 4, and you have 30-minute segment of photo shoot pictures. And we have horses that if you want one of our horses in the picture, they will do them, and then they will make some pictures without the horse.
Sweet. That's a nice thing to do, and it's a great fundraising idea. He'll be out at the horseplay area taking the pictures in and around the building.
If it's pretty, we will do it outside down at the old red barn, and it's rustic looking, and we'll have the hay conveyor there as part of the backdrop, and we have a straw couch. We have a Christmas tree with fake presents under it, and but
I want a present that's real under it.
Yeah, I want several of them.
So it can be a nice Christmas picture because you have the tree decorated with presents under it. What a great idea. You can have a family picture, correct?
Yes, ma'am.
It doesn't matter how many's in the picture?
No, ma'am. If there's going to be more than 5 or 6, we'll have to make the couch bigger.
You have to make the couch bigger?
Yeah. because we had a family that Saturday, I believe there was about 7 of them, and it was tight.
Well, it's a great idea, and I know you're still selling bricks, correct?
Yes, ma'am. We're still selling bricks. That's ongoing because it's going to take a long time to get enough brick out there for about a 14 by 14 patio.
I think $75 is
$75 per brick.
It is a good price, and you get to put someone you love on it. You can even put the name of a horse on it that you loved and rode as a child or as an adult, and
any pet, any loved one that has passed,
any loved one that loves pets or whatever. But it's a great fundraiser.
Yes, ma'am.
Was that your idea?
No, Susan Fingers thought of that.
Okay,
and
that was good.
She's one of our volunteers. Hopefully soon to be a board member. But she thought of it and approached me about it, and got it rolling.
Well, the photograph thing, it's only going to be this one segment, right?
Yes, ma'am.
And once it's over, it's done. So you need to be sure you write down that information. Amber, we need you in one of those pictures, riding a horse, like Lady Godiva.
She has her own.
Do you ride horses?
Yes, ma'am, I do. I have 2 horses of my own that I used to show in competitions at Lincoln County Horseman Association, and recently we've stopped showing, but I still love to ride just around the farm.
I know.
It's very calming and peace.
I grew up on a farm, and I had horses too.
And could you tell us how you got interested in horseplay?
I actually started researching for my platform for my pageant, and I started looking around, and I've always loved horses, and I decided to do something with horses, and I started researching more and more, and I found assisted equine therapy, and I posted on Facebook asking for recommendations of where I could find equine therapy at, and a family friend of ours actually recommended Horseplay to us. So
I did not know that story. So that is your
it's my platform, yes,
and you
ma'am.
speak on it and everywhere you go.
Yes, ma'am.
How long do your speeches have to be when you go to competition?
When I'm talking to someone about my platform, it's usually anywhere from 2 to 3 minutes long. So.
Well, it would be interesting to hear all of that. It really would. And congratulations.
Thank you.
Again.
Thank you.
We only have 11 seconds, so don't forget about the photo shoot and the money that we need to raise for Horseplay. And Amber, thanks for coming.
Thank you for having me.
And I'll give you a virtual hug from right here. And Miss Loretta, probably we'll see you again.
Oh, yes, ma'am.
We'll be back with more.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen. This is the paint. Uh-oh. I just knocked a tree over. This is the paint doctor. I got the color wheel. Now, you know what a color wheel is? It is the wheel at the paint works where you pick all your colors to paint your room. It could be a multicolored beard. It could be a underarm fan. You never can tell. One thing we do know is that it's time to paint. You know, you can make your wife very happy if you go to your house and paint some rooms, or you paint the outside of the house, the inside of the house. It makes them feel very good because you work hard for them and they like that. All women like to see their man sweat, you know? They do. Honeydew is what they do. And you get to do it too. So you go to the Paintworks at 1960 North Washington Street and you see David Heikkinen over there, and he's the real paint doctor. He fix you up with color. It's so nice when the color is right. Go to Paintworks today. Martin Senor. See? Martin Senor. Right there. Martin Senor at the Paintworks. Bye, and we see you next time. I'm burning up.
You know what, guys? There's a lot of tree branches and dry brush over here. We should probably move the bonfire over there.
guessing Smokey liked that idea.
Okay, so what would you bring to my company?
What do you need?
I need problem-solving skills.
I got through high school without a car, a phone, or a computer.
No college degree, though.
Not yet, but life's taught me a lot, and I'm ready for more.
Well, you're not the typical kind of candidate that I hire. But you are exactly what I'm looking for.
Your company could be missing out on the candidates it needs most. Learn how to find a great pool of untapped talent at gradsoflife.org.
Get your news first, fast, and free with your news leader on 6 every Tuesday, Thursday, and Saturday nights at 6, 8, and 10 p.m. Local weather, sports, community calendar events, and a comprehensive look at the latest news stories and news makers as only a video news broadcast can do. Get it first, fast, and free with News Leader on Channel 6, your local information network.
I'm always excited to have this bunch on stage that has something to do with the theater at South Jackson Civic Center. I'm glad to introduce our chairman, Greg Gressel, who's going to take over and talk to these characters.
Hi, yes. We brought a few guys with us today for the Assassins. Assassins the musical. It's going to be at South Jackson this weekend. And so I just wanted to give them a moment to introduce themselves here.
I'm John Wilkes Booth.
John Wilkes Booth.
What did you do?
I shot Abraham Lincoln.
Wow.
Okay.
Hi, I am John Hinckley Jr., and in 1981, I shot Ronald Reagan.
Who?
I'm Giuseppe Zangara, and I shot the President-elect FDR, Franklin Delano Roosevelt.
3 assassins right here in my presence.
Right here in your
Wow.
presence.
I wanted to say this. For those of you that don't live in Tullahoma and don't know where South Jackson Civic Center is, it's Tullahoma, Tennessee. And if you want a ticket, it's 931-455-5321. You have to get your reserved seat through the phone number simply because we can't do it any other way because of the pandemic and social distancing.
Right. We've been working towards trying to keep things safe and trying to do that with our audiences as well. So they call in, they get their reserved tickets with their group. Excuse me, there'll be no one sitting in front of them, behind them, or on
Right.
either side of them.
And I'm proud to say of all the things that we put on this year, there's been no cases
Right.
of the pandemic. So
Right. We've
so
been working hard to make sure that,
Yeah.
ensure that behind the scenes, on the stage and everything, we are wearing masks and trying to keep our social
What time does it
distance.
start?
It begins at 7 on Thursday. This Thursday, 7 o'clock, and it's 7 o'clock on Friday and Saturday, and then a 2:30 matinee on
Sunday. That's right around the corner.
It's right around the corner.
It's like yesterday almost.
It's just a couple of days. You know, it's a great musical. Some might think, Assassins, a
How do you
musical.
make a musical
how
out of
do you
that?
come about that? It is a Sondheim musical production, and we've enjoyed several of his pieces here locally, and I'm really excited about bringing this one to the stage.
This
as
is one
well.
of the newest performances, of this performance in Tullahoma, one of the newest plays.
Right, yes.
That's what I'm trying to say.
This actually, Sondheim wrote this about 1990. It was off Broadway in 94 for the first time, and then on Broadway in 2004 as a revival piece, and won several Tony Awards. And we're super excited about bringing it to the stage. The director of this production for us is Heather Kleinfield, and Emily Orris is our music director, and lots of time and hours put into
I can
this.
imagine.
And the staging is great, the costumes are great, the actors are great.
Mr.
and,
Booth, who did your costume?
Heather had a large hand in making my costume.
Well, I like it. Good job.
So it's been a lot of fun, and we've done a lot of planning for this, and we hope that the community will come out and support that. Things definitely have been a little crazy during COVID, and it's been tough for us, but we have persevered and kind of carried on, and we're really trying to do this at a social distancing atmosphere.
I think it's going to be successful
creating the
in a
opportunity.
lot of different ways. Number one, I think it's important that we keep the arts alive and well in this country to keep us all from going stark raving mad. So,
right.
Do y'all have any bits and pieces of dialogue you want to do? Was that a plan or not?
Well, I thought they were. I thought they were going to talk about why they did what they did.
Okay, let's
do you have an idea,
let's
guys?
start from the end.
My belly was on fire.
Your belly was on fire.
Why was your belly on fire?
The pain.
The bosses were.
The bosses made my belly burn.
Oh, I see. You had to do
I
it.
have no school. I work in a ditch. The smart and the rich ride by. Don't give no glance.
You had to do it. Had to do it. And how about you?
I was just really in love with Jodie Foster. I've seen her movie 16 times, and I thought she loved me, and I thought shooting Ronald Reagan would prove it. I'm still hopeful that Jodie will come back to me and we'll be together forever.
I don't know that that's the best reason, but it probably works within
I
his
hope
play.
it does.
Yeah.
In his mind. Anyway.
In your mind. John.
I did it to bring down the government of Abraham Lincoln and to avenge the ravaged South.
Wow. You really had a motivation on this.
Yes, ma'am.
But you play a part, don't you, there, Mr. Grassel?
I think so. Yes. If they come, they will get to see the many faces and demeanors of Charles Guiteau. I play Charles Guiteau, who assassinated President James Garfield. And so they'll get to see a little piece of that if they come to the production. So.
Wonderful. So it is important to jot that number down, and even though we do have all this on a web page, which is listed, and there's a lot of other stuff coming up. Do you want to throw some of that out right now?
Yes, I will say keep checking our social media. We are putting a lot out there on social media that's helping to explain everything that we've got coming up. And I will one more plug for Assassins. It was supposed to be on Broadway like April through June or something of this year, but they had to cancel it. So if you weren't able to see it on Broadway, you're going to have to come to Tullahoma, Tennessee.
And we have hotels and motels.
And it's been quoted as one of the most controversial musicals ever written.
Wow.
So we've got it right here.
We've got it right here in Tullahoma.
Come see why. Yes, we've got several things coming up after this. We've got our Young Artist Showcase, which is the 15th of November. I know we will speak again to that sometime next month. And then Moana Jr., which is our homeschool, our teach program is doing that. Moana Jr., that'll be the 20th and 21st of November.
Right.
And that is a Disney production. You want to make sure to come, bring your kids to that, be a part of that. And then
Nutcracker?
A lot of things happening in December, including Nutcracker, Sandy Patty in concert for Christmas.
And we are running out of time and running out of space, but I am just loving this interview because I'm so excited about seeing you guys in the production. And congratulations for getting the parts you got and loving what you're doing. We'll be back with other things.
My great-grandfather started it in 1900, and now it's 2020, which is 120 years. We still measure your feet, still try to help you find a good fit. We're just a good old-fashioned shoe store where we'll measure your feet, make sure you're in the right size, and help you find a comfortable shoe for men, women, and children.
We're gonna fit your style. We're gonna make you smile. Service and quality at Clayton Shoe Store. We're gonna fit your style.
Ah, the glory days. Running to daylight on the gridiron and chasing a ball with a mind of its own. Cheering the team to victory and marching to the beat of your own drum. Memories that last a lifetime. But sometimes we're reminded of our glory days in ways we'd rather forget. Get back in the game.
The rehab team at Life Care Center of Tullahoma is ready to help you live and play well.
Get your news first, fast, and free with your news leader on 6 every Tuesday, Thursday, and Saturday nights at 6, 8, and 10 p.m. Local weather, sports, community calendar events, and a comprehensive look at the latest news stories and news makers as only a video news broadcast can do. Get it first, fast, and free with News Leader on Channel 6, your local information network.
I'm John Rickman. And I'm Pat Welch, and we're here today for segment 30 of the Conversation with John and Pat.
And it won't be dirty?
Or if my wife thinks I'm flirty, I'm not sure which. Let's go on.
Let's go. We need a thesaurus, don't we? Or a rhyming dictionary. This is a little song from my youth, and it is a song about, it's called Miller's Cave. And I maybe, hearing it years ago, probably established some of the way I write by some of this. But I like this song because you listen to it all the way through, and then at the end, there's a thing that happens at the very end that you aren't expecting. And this is our Halloween song.
Halloween song. We're planning on this falling on Halloween week.
This is going to fall near Halloween.
Let it rip, John.
Oh, way down south in the state of Georgia, among the swamps and Everglades, there's a big old hole in Tiger Mountain. Lord help the man that gets lost in Miller's Cave. I had a girl in Waycross, Georgia, but she had unfaithful ways. That woman made me feel unwanted, just like the bears and the bats in Miller's Cave. I caught her out one Sunday morning with a man they call Big Dave, the meanest man in Waycross, Georgia. I'd rather fight a mountain lion in Miller's Cave. That woman made me feel unwanted, but I showed them I was brave. I shot them both, and then I drug them. I took their cheating schemes to haunt the Miller's Cave. That woman made me feel unwanted, but I showed her I was brave. Most wanted man in the state of Georgia, but they'll never find me 'cause I'm lost in Miller's Cave.
Wow.
I would hate to be lost in a cave, being so dark in there. So that's our Halloween song. That's a little spooky to me.
It is a little bit spooky.
Does that fit in?
It does. It's you got a lot of spooky Halloween songs, John.
No.
The one on the Chapel Hill Light.
Yeah, I thought about that, but I've already done it, and there'll be a time to repeat.
We still get a lot of acclaim for that one.
Yeah, I think they've actually played the one about the light twice.
All right.
Not that we're counting.
No.
But
we're taking note.
Spooky times in Chapel Hill, Tennessee was Halloween. We took complete advantage of Halloween because there was a lot of things that went on. Egg throwing, pumpkin throwing, wrapping trees with toilet paper. Now, we want to say this isn't recommended, nor do we promote this type.
We're not admitting to our mothers that that we would have participated even then.
Absolutely not.
And absolutely not now.
But it was a time of just doing, having fun. I remember myself at Forest High. They would maybe go to a farmer's house or a barn or whatever and take his wagon, disassemble it, and then reassemble it on top of the schoolhouse. Isn't that something? But just think of all the educational value that had. They were working together as a team.
Yeah.
And
it's a wonder you didn't get shop credit for that, John.
I remember at the end of after Halloween was over in the school, where there would be things that people brought up to the school and sat by the door and pulled up old tires and whatever, all kinds of mischief. Mr. Barnes, our principal, he would come to the shop class and he'd say, any of you boys want to help clean up the campus? And we'd all get up. We was all happy to get out of class, You weren't that way though, were you? I mean,
well, we'll tell a little bit of a tale on a following segment when we talk about Mr. McClure, John. That was. I'd rather not get into some of my bad ways in too many different segments.
In Tullahoma, I don't know of all what went on because I'm not of the age that I would, be participating. But I remember my wife when we were married, started a family here in Tullahoma. It was very important to her to get the kids out and know what neighborhoods to go get candy. And we would definitely go to friends that we were acquainted with, look at the kids, how they're dressed up, and this sort of thing. But then to really beef up your sack or bucket or whatever it is that you would, maybe a little pumpkin type of
plastic pumpkin
and hope to fill it up with all kind of candies and treats, delights. She would go to a neighborhood, and you asked me which neighborhood was it that they went to, and I can't remember. I know that the houses were all close together. Mm-hmm. So, there wasn't a lot of walking time in between, and the kids, they'd come home, and then they'd bring all that candy home, and Daddy'd eat about half of it. It was a wonderful time, and we didn't particularly want apples and
bananas,
oranges. We weren't into that so much, but we were we liked the candy, the sugar, I'm sure. But we had a great time, and we're told, Pat, that it's almost time for us to close down shop.
We hope that this being Halloween week, that everyone has a safe Halloween.
Very safe. Back when I was a child, I don't think things, the safety, there were hazards like there are today. Yeah, there are some hazards that are out there that maybe
the pranks didn't get across the line probably in Chapel Hill.
And nobody took you serious.
Right.
They were young too one time. They remembered how it was.
That's right. Well, let's wrap this up, John. This closes out segment 30. But it's not the end of the conversations. There's more to come. If P. Hitt will lay in there with us. Thank you.
Thank you.
Smoking tobacco accounts for 3 of every 10 fire deaths in the United States.
Tullahoma Fire Department. Need you en route to a structure fire, 202 Main Street. Heavy smoke showing. Neighbors advise child trapped inside.
Lighters, matches, and associated smoking paraphernalia are the leading cause of preschooler fire deaths. We as firefighters know that most structure fires can be prevented.
I've got one! Command, this is primary search. We have a victim. Need EMS to meet us at the front door.
Please Help us to give you a fighting chance. This can be prevented. Contact the Tullahoma Fire Department for a free home safety inspection.
What's a Tennessee vacation? It starts off like any road trip, and then, boom, adventure and thrills everywhere you look, which happens to be some of the most beautiful scenery in the country. Music here, history there, and all kinds of green in between. Come relax and unwind, or bring the crowd for some stargazing, or stargazing. Whatever you do, come hungry and expect an awesome soundtrack. It's all right here in Tennessee. We're playing your song. For a free vacation guide, visit tnvacation.com.
Get your news first, fast, and free with your news leader on 6 every Tuesday, Thursday, and Saturday nights at 6, 8, and 10 p.m. Local weather, sports, community calendar events, and a comprehensive look at the latest news stories and news makers as only a video news broadcast can do. Get it first, fast, and free with News Leader on Channel 6, your local information network.
Do you think it brings on more?
Back, and I'm glad to have my friend Judy Jenkins on the set with me today, and she is here to give us some information about something you might have forgotten about during the COVID and all that, and that's Trinity Care.
Absolutely. We were closed for 5 months during the worst of COVID when we were learning about it.
Right.
And we realized that we needed to provide a service for the community.
Yes.
Because the individuals with dementia, those with Parkinson's, those that have maybe mobility issues, need caregivers. Well, those caregivers are 24 hours a day at home, and they never get a rest. And if they have to go to work, they're kind of out of luck. So that's why Trinity came into existence 25 years ago, to allow the caregivers to have a safe center where they could put their loved ones, know they would be well cared for, stimulated, fed good nutritious meals, have activities to their level, and then the caregiver can stop by and pick them up and go on home and have some continuity into their life.
And where's Trinity Care located?
We are located on First Avenue, right beside the Women's Center and the Shepherd House.
Okay.
That's
So
a very nice house.
So well, that sounds like a commercial to me. I think we might just take that and put that on top of your static ad.
Sounds
make
good
that
to
a
me.
commercial.
Okay.
So
sounds
so
wonderful.
what the deal is right now for months. You've not had people there.
Right. And now we're open.
And now you're open, and people need to understand that this is a safe place.
It is.
You're not going to do anything outside the rules and regulations of the CDC, and everybody is going to be tested and clean. But it is a place where, if the caregiver has to go to work,
or even go to an appointment,
what happens to mom? What happens to dad?
this is where we come in. You can drop off your loved one for all day, or for a section of the day, or for a couple of hours if you just need a break.
Right.
When I used to be a nurse in a hospital, I would tell the other nurses it takes 24 hours and 3 separate nurses to care for one Alzheimer's patient or someone that has dementia. Well, you take that same person and put them into their home environment. You can't stay awake 24 hours a day for them. I mean, that would be absolutely dangerous. So that's why Trinity Care is so wonderful. We're the only area state licensed daycare center, and we serve 5 counties.
That's incredible.
Absolutely. And we are open and very, very happy to serve the people that come to us with the needs that we can take care of.
Kitty would be proud of you.
Yeah. She's actually down in Florida enjoying a new life.
Yeah, Kitty Shukla and the Shuklas were very, very involved in that for years and years and years.
Absolutely originated
And
yes.
Kitty sat on the board, and she would come and see us, and started the Diamond Studded Evening and
She
all of those
did.
fundraiser things that were so much fun.
Unfortunately, we can't have the Diamond Studded Evening or the Denim and Diamonds.
Denim
which
and Diamonds.
We've altered it a little bit to have
Yeah.
more fun. We're not going to be having that this year
Well,
out of
and
respect for COVID.
Sure.
And there's something I'd like, I started thinking about how I could get you to understand how important it is for those individuals with dementia to be cared for in the right places. So if you compare COVID with dementia, they're both horrible, horrible illnesses that you don't want. COVID will unfortunately kill you pretty rapidly. Dementia takes your personality away, takes your memories away, takes the person, the innards of the person away, but it takes years.
Right.
And you're dealing with it day after day after day. So that's where the care center has become so important in the life of Tullahoma, Coffee County, and we would love to be able to serve as many as would like to come through the door.
Well, you've been a bright light since you've been involved.
Thank you very much. I've enjoyed it.
And you've shared a lot of information, a lot of good information in a very positive way. And it's always good to have you here. Is there anything that our viewing audience could do right now, other than spread the word, to help you? Are there things you need? Do you need board games? Do you need things that entertainment type things?
We are well equipped with board games and puzzles and arts and crafts activities. What we basically need is financial funding. We are a charity. We depend on the gala or any of our fundraising activities.
Right.
So if people would like to send a donation to Trinity Adult Care, we would love to be the recipient. We are a 501c3. And
very good.
If someone has musical ability and they would like to come and play a piano for us, we had a woman who for years came and brought music into the center. And here's a tip a lot of people don't know. You might not remember what you had for lunch or yesterday or 3 or 4 years ago, but you will always remember the music that has been exposed to you. So you'll remember the songs that you sang in church as a child. And so we have people come in and have singing groups, and people that normally might have not much expression on their face start to smile and they start to sing along, and you see the person that they once were.
Right, The Notebook.
So beautiful, right? Absolutely.
The Notebook. What a beautiful movie.
It is.
So there's ways that you can help. How does someone give us a phone number where someone can get in touch and call, or can people just stop by?
Sure. Absolutely.
And it's right behind the Women's Club, and that's right across the corner from Brookdale.
Right across the corner, absolutely.
And they can stop by there and speak with the person there.
Our director is Betty Augerman. She's been there for, I think, 13, 14 years.
So Betty can tell you what she needs.
Absolutely. I mean, we always take Kleenex and toilet paper and that sort of thing.
Pull-ups and...
Yes.
Any paper products are acceptable.
Any paper products, yep.
So,
but we'd love to have people stop by. We'd love to show you. We have a beautiful facility. We're handicap accessible. We decorate for the holidays. They've had a Christmas tree up pretty much all year, and it changes.
Yeah.
It'll be a Valentine's. It'll be an Easter tree. It'll be
Very good.
So we
That's
try to
great.
do things that. It's amazing what will stimulate the mind of someone that you think has lost a lot of their function. And so you just keep trying. One more thing.
Now, do you have a problem? Would there be a problem So like if I get in a mood I like to cook. If I get in a mood to make a big old pan of potato salad, could somebody bring that over there, or are there rules and regulations that keep that from happening?
I don't know of any rules or regulations that would affect them.
So if you're
That
doing
would be a
something
kind
special,
thing.
if you're baking cornbread or making cookies, baking pies,
bad idea.
make a couple of extra pies and take them over to Trinity Care Center.
They would enjoy them, absolutely.
Judy,
absolutely.
You're a blessing to us
thank you.
all, and thank you so much for being with us, and thank you for the hard work and the dedication that you've given Trinity Care Center, and you've done Kitty well.
Thank
in
you
your
so
representation.
much. I appreciate
okay.
it. Thank
We'll
you.
be right back after these messages.
This is the face of a fighter.
I'm fighting to keep Tennesseans working.
I'm fighting for time with my friends.
I'm fighting for football on Saturday.
I'm fighting to see my students back in the classroom.
We're fighting for our small business.
I'm fighting to keep my family safe.
Whatever you're fighting for, it's time for all Tennesseans to fight back. Until there's a vaccine for COVID-19, this is the face of a fighter. Face it, masks fight COVID-19.
Ah, the glory days. Running to daylight on the gridiron and chasing a ball with a mind of its own. Cheering the team to victory and marching to the beat of your own drum. Memories that last a lifetime. But sometimes we're reminded of our glory days in ways we'd rather forget. Get back in the game. The rehab team at Life Care Center of Tullahoma is ready to help you live and play well.
Is this the year you want to get fit? If so, check out just some of the things Tullahoma Parks and Rec has to offer. Kickboxing, aerobics, silver sneakers workouts, swim lessons, boot camp, water aerobics, basketball, Zumba, yoga, pickleball, lap swimming, treadmill, karate. Get fit, Tullahoma, and have some fun with Tullahoma Parks and Rec.
Hello everyone, Governor Bill Lee. The 2020 census is underway and more than 60% of Tennesseans have already been counted. I want to encourage every household that hasn't yet responded to the census to do so now. An accurate census will bring more of our federal tax dollars back to Tennessee communities to support services that we all like health care, education, roads, and so much more. Log on to 2020census.gov to answer some simple questions about the people living in your home. You can also respond by phone or mail in your questionnaire. It should only take a few minutes and can mean so much for your family and your community. Help shape the future of Tennessee by responding to the 2020 census today.
It's not invoice. It's not MSRP. It's not Christmas Day, although it may feel like it. It's the lowest prices in Middle Tennessee, period. It's a Stan McNabb Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram or Stan McNabb Chevrolet Buick GMC Cadillac before these prices are gone forever.
How long has it been since you raced a cheetah? Are your tornado creating skills getting rusty? Tired of being the only one in your neighborhood who hasn't built a dinosaur? Sounds like it's time to visit the Hands-On Science Center. The Hands-On Science Center is an indoor science playground. In this museum, please touch is the rule. Join us for weekly science demonstrations on space, lasers, lizards, rocks, and a whole lot more. No two visits are ever the same, so visit often to see our ever-changing exhibits and demonstrations. The Hands-On Science Center, 101 Mitchell Boulevard in Tullahoma.
Welcome back. I'm so lucky I'm sitting up here with some of the finest men in this community. These people that go out and fight the fires. I'm going to introduce Chief Chastain, and he's going to introduce this tall gentleman and the short gentleman.
Thank you, Miss Peggy. Proud to be here with these two guys. This is Garrett Stokes. He's one of our newest firefighters. He's on shift today. And of course, everybody's getting to know Shorty over here.
Yeah, I did read the article.
Brandon Barrage. He is an engineer with us. Been with us for a few years and was recently awarded a a special award. What was that, Brandon?
It was the Guinness World Record for world's tallest firefighter.
How fabulous. I know I read that, but to make the Guinness World Record, that's pretty tall.
It's
7 feet.
Yes, ma'am.
Well, you're a handsome gentleman, and I know you have to duck once in a while when you go into houses and stuff. Does that ever slow you down, like at a fire, or have you?
Not typically. I'm so used to it now. It's just kind of a secondhand motion. Just kind of happens. So.
Well, we're just so fortunate to have you, and I appreciate it. And you're just new to this, right, Garrett?
Yes, ma'am.
And how do you find it? Do you find a family in these people?
Yes, ma'am.
You always have each other's back, don't you?
Yes, ma'am.
That's the way you feel. Richard, how do you keep getting them to come in?
Well, we just try to have a positive attitude. For instance, when we interviewed Brandon, when he walked in, I stood up in a chair so I could look eye to eye to him and shook his hand.
I love that.
And I'll never forget the HR director's face. She was like, what are you doing? But, I stand about eye to eye with him when I'm in a chair.
Yeah.
Of course, he's married to his beautiful wife. She's 4'11". And so
And so how did you meet? You just happened to see her in a crowded room and she sort of stood out?
We actually met at Motlow. I used to play basketball for Motlow, and she came to a game and saw me, and then that's
perfect.
Yeah.
And it happened to be that you liked her.
Yeah, a little bit.
Not just because she was tall.
Right.
So basketball, probably people expected you to make a career out of basketball because of your height?
Right. It was always, I played since early elementary school, and then as I got into high school and college, I just kind of lost the spark for it, and then I found firefighting, and it's been the new spark ever since.
What a great tribute to the organization, because I just can't tell you how much I appreciate what our first responders do. There's just no end to it. I find the first responders, the police, the firemen, and the military are close to my heart, and you all do a fabulous job.
Thank you.
We appreciate that.
I know. Talk about Toys for Tots.
We've got Toys for Tots coming up. We're gonna do the program this year.
Good.
We're going to practice some distancing during sign-ups and probably the drive-through pickups, where people won't even get out of their vehicles. They'll just give us the number of the box and we'll present it. That'll be coming up on Friday morning and Saturday morning, December the 4th and December the 5th.
Okay.
Actually, around the Christmas parade. Christmas parade's Friday night the 4th.
Friday night the 4th.
So we'll be at CD Stamps at 9 o'clock on the 4th. And
so do
9
people
o'clock
come to you?
They do. They'll come down to CD Stamps with a proof of residency. They have to live inside the city limits.
Okay.
So we'll need a utility bill, something like that. And then a birth certificate for each child that they want to sign up. It has to be their children. They can't sign up somebody else's children. So we've been doing that program for over 40 years. And we work with the Marine Corps, their Toys for Tots program. They collect some toys in the city, but they will give them to us. We'll handle all the distribution for the city of Tullahoma.
Well, it's a big job.
It's a very big job, and the men and women work on it just about every day. Starting about mid-November, there's something to do with that just about every day. And they do it all on shift, between calls, and between cleaning, and between training, and between trying to grab something to eat.
Yeah.
It's busy.
You like to get cash so that you can buy a variety of toys, correct?
We do. We can buy what we need, and we get a discount.
Right.
Plus, since we're under the 501c3, we have tax exempt, so we don't pay sales tax. So you get almost 10% extra right there.
Exactly.
And then usually the places will give us 20, 30, 40% off. So we can buy a lot of stuff with your money.
You can buy probably more than the individual.
Oh, yeah.
Like if a person donated $20, you probably get more out of it than they would going to buy it.
Right, and we can get specifically what we need. Usually we go each shift. Brandon and Garrett will get a balance of about $5,000.
Wow.
And they'll go shopping, and they'll get a list of about 60 families, which usually equals about 175 children.
And what is the age group that you get gifts for?
It's birth to 14 years old.
Birth to 14.
Yep. Yep.
And you're pretty savvy about what sort of things that those age groups would like to have, the girls and the boys and
well,
whatever
I always
else.
just want to buy Tonka trucks and stuff, but
Yeah.
you know, a 12-year-old girl doesn't really like that. So
Right.
we get some help from our wives, and we've got some female firefighters, we've got some old firefighters, we've got some young firefighters,
Yeah.
so we can usually come up with
So
a
you
pretty
usually
good
come
thing.
up with a pretty
We'll
good
give them a
list.
budget, you know, like a 12-year-old girl have a budget of about $50,
Yeah.
and they'll go get 4 or 5 items for that 12-year-old girl.
Well, it's a wonderful thing
you
to
know.
do, and I encourage everybody to donate. So if they want to donate money, they come by the fire department,
come by
or
the
mail
fire
it to the
station.
fire department,
Yep.
or call and give you a credit card.
We
Would that
can't
be out of
take
order?
we can't
Or
take cards,
a credit
but we
card?
definitely can take cash or check. We prefer a check, so there's a little accountability for it. We keep up with that. Deputy Chief Pearson is in charge of managing the finances, and then we give it to Caring Together, or Together, the group that Pam Bussell is over. Anyway,
Right.
we make all those deposits to her at First Christian Church, and we do the depositing right there, and then when we go buy stuff, we get a check from that account. So she does the checks and
So
balances
she take
for
that's
us.
a big job too.
Pam Bussell does, yeah. So that's really good, and we're into that 501c3.
I don't think people probably don't know how many volunteers even get caught up in this to help.
Right. Oh yeah, we have a lot of help, but the key is, I mean, we've got the fun part of putting it all together and going and buying and all
Yeah.
that, but we can't do it without donations, because there's no dollar funded in our budget.
Right.
This is all from the citizens, and it'll be as good as y'all want it to be.
Exactly. And I can't tell you how much I appreciate it. It makes you feel good, doesn't it, to do?
Absolutely. It's very,
Right.
very, very rewarding.
It's got to be very. Do you have children?
I do. I have a little girl.
You have a little girl? How old?
She will be 3 in January.
Oh my goodness, so cute. Oh, they're dying for you to stand up, Brandon. So
You stand up beside him, Miss
Oh,
Peggy,
okay.
and just see the difference.
I feel like a midget, and that's okay because I love midgets. Thank you.
No problem. Thank you
All
very
right.
much.
How blessed we are in this community, and thank you so much for serving, all 3 of you and all of your group. And I hope you'll come back and have fun again.
Absolutely. Thank
We'll
you.
be back with more stuff.
Hi, I'm Cindy.
And I'm Jacob. I'm the Rooster.
And I'm the Red Maiden. And we would like to welcome you to
Roosterwear.
Yes, Roosterwear is a cottage industry producing accessories for men, women, children, babies, and pets. All items are hand cut and sewn locally. Roosterwear specializes in bow ties, pocket squares, scarves, cufflinks, neckties, and aprons of all sizes for all ages. Baby products include onesies, diaper covers, bibs, and burp pads. All bow ties, tie it yourself or pre-tied, come with an adjustable neckband. All products can be made with a material of your choice, as special orders are available upon request. Don't be standing back looking at fashion. Create your own with Roosterwear.
come visit us at
roosterandredmaiden.com.
to find our handcrafted designs for
The Cock of the Walk.
I want to eat apples and bananas. I need to eat apples and bananas. Why can't I eat apples and bananas?
Support the Feeding America nationwide network of food banks to help provide meals to those in need. Join us at feedingamerica.org.
Since the moment you were born, I've made 1,000 wishes. Wishes for your future in a world that's changing fast. Do play and laugh. Do win and lose. Do it all with confidence, kindness, and strength. And always do your best to remember that no matter what you do in this life, what matters to me is that you keep doing.
Get your news first, fast, and free with your news leader on 6 every Tuesday, Thursday, and Saturday nights at 6, 8, and 10 p.m. Local weather, sports, community calendar events, and a comprehensive look at the latest news stories and news makers as only a video news broadcast can do. Get it first, fast, and free with News Leader on Channel 6, your local information network.
I'm a lucky guy today. I'm such a lucky guy today. I've got Stephanie Spiegel on the stage, and that's why I'm a lucky guy today.
Thank you.
I hadn't seen you in a while.
I know, it's been a while.
Stephanie works at Lynchburg Nursing Center, and you have, is it this month? It's next month.
This month, October.
This month.
We just caught it at the end of the month.
I caught it at the end of the month. Tell me what it is again.
October is Fraud and Financial Abuse Awareness Month. Typically celebrated with our senior population in the senior centers, but because of COVID, we've changed things up a little bit, but we still want to get the word out to our seniors about the unfortunate opportunities people take advantage of to cause scamming.
Get your money.
Yes.
Put you in a bad position, and it's rampant.
It is.
Stephanie and I were talking about it. Used to when these calls, and it's usually a phone call. It could be a computer prompt. There's all kinds of ways they go about it, and I'm sure you're going to list some of that stuff. But it used to be from the Caribbean or somewhere, some phone number, place that you had no. Now they have local numbers.
Local numbers that they use.
And so you just don't know who to answer, what to do. So Stephanie has some ideas for you and your senior loved ones. Even if they're not in a center, even if they're at home, there's things you as a caregiver or a child need to listen for and to make sure something doesn't happen.
Yes, and amongst friends, seniors may not be able to get it into the senior centers right now, but if you hear someone talking about phone calls they got, you need to be aware and help advise that those calls are probably not on the up and up.
Nobody's going to give you a pile of money for free.
And while that seems simple to understand, they present things in a way that can confuse you.
Sure.
And especially with the epidemic of COVID right now, they're doing everything from inviting themselves to come to your home to do a test if you prepay for that, to do a screening. That's not going to happen that way. They have what they call grocery scams, where they will claim you send them the money, they'll get your groceries so you don't have to get out and take any risk, and they'll bring them to you. Well, there's two problems with that. One, you've sent them money. Two, they know where you live now. You give them an address. They never show up. Some of the other things that are a little more common are text messages or something with a link, like on your computer text. Don't click on those. Don't answer those because it's going to either open you up to. First of all, it's sort of like answering the phone when it's a salesperson. You're going to be stuck in the middle of it. It's a lot harder to deal with.
I don't need any vinyl siding today.
No, that's right. And then, of course, just the misconception of investing in things that are supposedly cures. And we see that, too, that people want to invest in oils or treatments that are supposedly a cure for COVID, and those are not good investments. Don't send people your money for those types of things, because there's not a cure that we know of at this point, and when there is, the government will make it available, not somebody who calls you up with the proposition. That's not how it works.
And no matter what you think, or no matter how their voice sounds, the IRS does not make telephone calls.
No, that is true. They are not calling you. And nobody, even this process now of like the tracing, nobody's calling you up to ask you for your Medicare number for that. That is irrelevant to what they're doing.
Right.
Nobody's calling you and asking your Social Security number. If the health department feels you've been exposed, all they need to do is communicate that with you on a surface level. None of your information should be provided to them. And they wouldn't be asking you for it. No. They won't be asking you
Somebody
for it.
asks you for a number of any type, it's a scam.
Exactly. And do not fall for it.
And if they send you a picture of where you live, just remember, any 4-year-old kid with Google Maps can Google up a picture of your house.
Exactly.
So they hadn't been there knocking on your door to give you something. So don't pay attention to that stuff.
No. Again, it's just taking advantage of a scary situation, and we just want to be sure. There's lots of phishing scams and those type of scams that have been out there, but it's amazing to think that in the short amount, it's been 6 months, but still in the amount of time that COVID has been available, the things that they have grown out of that specifically to try and take advantage of people, and especially the seniors who are at home trying to stay as safe as possible, and then they're doing these type of things
and
too.
lonely
And wanting somebody to talk
confused.
to, and so then they create that friendship, but then from there they end up getting things that they shouldn't from our seniors.
And some seniors, everything they have.
Everything they have. And I want to be sure and point out, if you suspect that someone calls you and it's a phishing scam or it's a scam related to COVID, please report that to your local police. Because while they may not can find it immediately, it helps to have communication amongst people, just spreading the word, be watching for this. Because if you stopped it, maybe it will help prevent someone else from falling for that same thing. But just create awareness of something that's going around, because a lot of times it's not a one-time. They go through a whole community trying to get access to something. So we need to be sure we're passing on that you got a call and it was related to COVID and they're going to come do a free test. No. So pass that on. Call the law enforcement just to be sure they're aware and they can communicate that too.
And even in your phone, in my phone, I try to have a picture to where if Stephanie calls me, we've done business together for years and been friends for years, her picture shows up or her name shows up. Well, you put those names in there. Now, if somebody calls up with a name that's a name you know that you haven't put in your phone, it's not them.
Exactly.
It's somebody else. So on your message in your phone, say, I'm sorry, I can't come to the phone right now. Please leave me a message and I will call you back. Whenever you say that, about 80% of the time, there will be no message left.
Those type of people are not going to leave you a message.
No.
So that ends the call pretty quick.
Pretty quickly.
And if you do answer a phone that you think is a local number and you suspect that it's not, or if it's a robo-type call, hang up immediately.
Right.
Don't even let it play through. As soon as you hear, I say the silence, then the computer voice, I just hang up, because the more ground you give them,
the longer
they're going to try.
It's like a tick, or if you pull it off quick enough, it isn't going to hurt you bad.
Exactly.
But the longer you let it sit there, the more sucking it does.
Exactly. So just end it. Just end it immediately. That helps.
Thank you so much
You're
for being
welcome.
here. Stephanie Spiegel with Lynchburg Nursing Center, and always a friend, and has been coming in and out for years, giving us great information, and a wonderful caregiver and a wonderful person who has worked in this industry for a long time. And thank you for your service. Because it's not a job, it's a ministry, it's a calling.
It is.
And you do it, you wear it well.
Thank you.
All right, we'll see you next time, okay? See you after these messages, and I guess I'm supposed to say goodbye. Wave goodbye to them, Stephanie. Stephanie and I'll tell y'all goodbye. We'll see you next time.